Oh, yeah. What a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Put a little mustard on it.
Good day. Mustard. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Tire Rack. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. I'm COVINO, that is Rich. We are on Monday through Friday on Fox Sports Radio, 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East. And usually on Thursdays. Today, in fact, we do our bonus podcast as well. We're going to do it later on. It'll air on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page live, overpromised, with COVINO and Rich. It's the things we never get to because Blubber Lips Davis always overpromises things we don't have time for. So overpromised. Look out for it today. Subscribe to our YouTube page, Fox Sports Radio's YouTube, and everything at COVINO and Rich.
You know we could go over on overpromise today?
What?
I'll give you a step-by-step for the best 4th of July treat possible. I call them Dicky Doodle Dandies.
I mean, you want people to watch, right?
No, this is legit. Danny
That's what
J,
you're leading with?
I don't
Dicky
think
Doodle Dandies. You hear this?
You guys are ass
We're
clowns.
trying to
Should have
get
just
people.
did a generic tease.
Yeah, bro. You know what?
You guys
People
are,
were on the edge of their seat, and you give them that.
You guys are clowns of the ass.
I got it, guys. Dicky Doodle Dandies.
Well, if you're going to a barbecue, a cookout, this is the ultimate dessert to bring, and it's an alcoholic.
How about you say this? We're going to give you a no-fail
alcoholic treat
to bring to the party, so you're the party star.
Dandies.
When you call them Dicky Doodle Dandies, no one's going to take it serious.
Yeah.
Well, they
Sounds
could
like
also,
you're doing radio in the 1950s.
They could also be made non-alcoholic, but it is a treat that will make you a superstar. I
Dandies,
promise.
See?
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Why
my
don't you do
dandies.
like a demonstrative sort of thing, like teach us how to make them? Oh, pressure's on.
A little demonstration.
Anyway, it's on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page, Overpromised. You could also listen wherever you stream your podcast. Just search Overpromised with COVINO and Rich. That will air today. But before we get back to old school and 50 hits, the excitement is still in the air. L.A. still buzzing. We're live from the mean streets of L.A. right now. Kershaw got his 3,000th last night. But to make it more amazing. I'm trying. It's almost gross how perfect it was.
Theatrical.
Theatrical. It was a movie script. Freddie Freeman comes through with the walk-off.
He swings, and it's a base hit to right. Ohtani around third. He comes to the plate. Dodgers win. Dodgers win. The 15th career walk-off hit for Freddie Freeman, and the Dodgers come all the way back to win it 5-4.
I told you, that's courtesy, by the way, of 570 out here in L.A. I do not like the Dodgers. I'm a Mets fan, but when that song hits, Randy Newman, I Love L.A., you think it's corny. I think it's awesome.
I think it sounds like something from Naked Gun. That's why.
I mean, it is in the movie Naked Gun.
Yeah.
COVINO would rather have a Fat Joe song. Come on.
I know. Leave Fat Joe out of this.
Yeah.
He's a jinx.
You'd rather have a Diddy song coming?
No.
Oh.
Nope. I say no to freak-offs.
Well,
Now, it really was insane. Perfect ending, drama. Muncy goes down. Freeman comes through. He gets the strikeout when he needed it. Magical night here in Los Angeles. We've been talking about it throughout the day, but we're in the middle of something called Old School When 50 Hits, because when 50 hits on the clock, we love to reminisce on a Thursday. When 50 hits in life, feel a little old school. So we throw it back, we get you involved, and we do this on our show, and it's fun to bring it here on Dan Patrick.
well, I have a thought about maybe the most perfect movie of all time, and that's Back to the Future. Great Scott came out 40 years ago today. If you were a little kid, maybe you were an adult, whatever. 1985, Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, a classic. And I have a deep thought, well, maybe not that deep, but I have a good hypothetical, and it has to do with Back to the Future in a few seconds. But I did want to go over some of the best 4th of July movies and tell me if any of these stand out to you, all right?
You know what I think of, though, because you went over some of them? The one that stood out the most to me that I associated most with this holiday weekend is a movie I don't even really like that much, but Like, I think of Independence Day.
I mean, it's Independence Day.
No, but I think of that movie because I remember what a big deal it was when it came out on 4th of July as a kid.
I do, too. And I remember it being really hot in Southern California that weekend, and everybody was jam-packed in all the theaters, all sold out, sitting in that AC watching that movie.
Yeah, and my point is, it's not my favorite of the movies, but it's the one that stands out to me, that I associate the most. Not because of the title, just because of the hype that was around it at the time.
Welcome to Earth. Listen, Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Randy Quaid. It was a great movie, and I think it's rare because you know how every Christmas you got to watch Elf, you got to watch It's a Wonderful Life, Love Actually, all your favorite Christmas movies.
Love Actually, not on my list, but anyway, that's an argument for December.
That's because you have bad taste. I think it's the only other time, besides when you watch Hubie Halloween every Halloween. Oh, the Sandman.
Halloween is upon us.
Other than that, I think it's interesting that every 4th of July, there's an instinct to be like, yo, you got to put that on, man. Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, like I said, Randy Quaid. It's a great cast. It's a great movie. I think it's
and it's tough because I'm not a Will Smith guy.
Dude, unless
the actor or the Dodger.
Unless you are.
How dare you?
Unless you're watching Joey Chestnut, House Some Hot Dogs, I think no one would frown upon it if while you were having your cookout, when you walked in the kitchen to get a refill, if the TV was playing Independence Day in the background. It's a great movie. I think it might be, other than Back to the Future, maybe your best 4th of July opening.
And we're going to go to your phone calls at 877-99 on Fox. The blockbusters that come to mind, 4th of July weekend blockbusters. We have a whole list of ones that came out, the ones you associate with this holiday, the ones you're watching. And it's going to be a huge movie weekend between Jurassic World and F1, too. A lot of people are going to the theaters this weekend. So what comes to mind for you?
Tony in Oregon. What's up, man? In for Dan Patrick. What's up?
Hey, I listen to you guys in the afternoon. I'll listen to you in the morning.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. So you guys have mentioned T2. That was a favorite of mine. But as far as like kind of my wheelhouse was growing up, when I was like 8 years old, E.T. was released.
Can I drop you a little fun fact about that real quick? Terminator 2, you guys remember the actor Robert Patrick? He was also in The Sopranos. Yeah. He's the cop, right? His brother, a lot of people don't know this, and you're not going to care unless you're a rock fan, but his brother is Richard Patrick, formerly of Nine Inch Nails, lead singer of Filter, the band Filter. That's his brother. They're brothers.
I thought you were going to say he was Dan Patrick's brother.
Fun fact, Dan Patrick's his cousin. No, Robert Patrick is brothers with Richard Patrick, the musician.
And then, Tony, you said you had another movie on this date?
Yeah, E.T. was released in, 82. I was 8 years old, and that's just a huge, huge hit, obviously. And
that does remind people of the summer for sure.
Dude, if that came out on 4th of July weekend, and I went to the theater as a little boy.
Not everything's
that's the biggest.
Not everything
has to be.
Is going to be right on the 4th of July, but that was a mid-June release, so that counts.
Okay.
If you're talking movies that you saw. And again, the 4th of July is so synonymous with, like, it's summer, right?
Summer, yeah.
Let me hit you up with a couple others because I want to know if you think there's something that could top Independence Day and Back to the Future because it's so hard.
E.T.'s I have a theory on that. E.T. so magical that the only reason you don't see it that much is because people don't want to watch it because it's too emotional. It's too much.
I got to watch it with my kids. My kids have never seen E.T.
You're going to cry just like Dodgers fans did last night.
I'm going to give you one that I know it's not in your wheelhouse, but a lot of people are going to say, oh, yeah. 1986, Top Gun. I knew you didn't like this.
I was a bigger fan of the Nintendo game.
Top Gun? No? Okay, fine.
I had it on Nintendo.
Now, it was mentioned.
People love that movie.
It was mentioned. I mean, listen, very rarely is the sequel significantly better than the original, but I think Terminator 2, like you said, T2 was enormous. I think most people saw T2 and then went back to watch the original Terminator. Terminator 2 was far more popular than the original.
Another one of those cases of James Cameron coming in and taking, a series that I mean, it's the same thing with Alien to Aliens. Like, first one's great, but here comes James Cameron and he makes this amazing summer blockbuster out of it.
And you had Guns N' Roses on the soundtrack. You Could Be Mine, added to the fun of the movie for sure.
Now, I got one that's very 4th of July. I got one dare I say, patriotic. What about Mel Gibson, The Patriot? One of the most underrated movies. Yo, who plays the bad guy again? Jason Isaacs?
Yeah.
My goodness, the biggest douche bad guy ever. When he kills Gibson's son in the movie and everything.
No, I thought Shooter McGavin was the worst bad.
Yeah, he is a good bad
I thought he was the worst bad guy. No, but these are all great ones, man. But is there an answer for you? Is there one that is it Back to the Future? Because not only is it 4th of July weekend, it's the 40th anniversary of the release of one of the greatest movies of our lifetime.
I mean, there's a lot of big blockbusters, like the Spider-Mans of the world, and I know Ant-Man, and there's summer releases that do big in the theater. But I'm saying when you think summer 4th of July blockbuster, it's going to be hard to say.
Every time you say Blockbuster, I think of Blockbuster Video.
And that smell of the plastic containers
I think
mixed
of you
with popcorn.
probably renting barbed wire.
Yeah, in the dirty carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, they say that old Blockbuster videos all smelled the same, and it was a combination of three things. It was like a smell of like candy or popcorn, like that, that mixed with the dirty carpets from people's wet shoes and
Sour Jacks and
the plastic covers.
And the plastic covers.
Oh, it also smelled like horny teenagers because that's what we were doing, right? We were going to buy movies to pretend to watch.
Yeah. Hey, honey, let's go on date night. Yeah, that was foreplay. Blockbuster was foreplay.
It really was.
Let's go to Washington State. Say what's up to Josh. You're on with COVINO Rich. In for Dan Patrick. What's up, Josh?
How's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey, so I remember, for me, it's Independence Day, which is like you guys are saying. My birthday is July 7th, so I remember I turned 10 years old like 3 days later. It was the first movie my mom and dad let me go see by myself, and it was just like in awe, So the whole day was an event for me, going by myself, buying my own concessions back when bought movies
awesome.
there, So
Man, at 10 years old? 10, huh?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Cove, I know that you're not a big Will Smith fan, like you said, the baseball catcher
He
or the
lost
actor.
me at smacking Chris Rock in public. I mean, you act like I'm the only guy that holds this resentment. How is he even a little bit likable after that?
I just think that movie is so perfect.
Oh no, I like I said, I reluctantly have to admit. It's the one I associate with coming out on this weekend. It's like it is the Elf to Christmas. It is the Hubie Halloween to Halloween.
Oh.
It's what you have to have on or you're going to leave on when it's on this weekend, Independence Day.
I got to ask everyone in this room, and you, Spot, and I have been friends for decades now. We've known each other since we're 20 years old. I saw, and this is like a weird memory of mine. I saw Independence Day 2, but I don't know where and with who, because I remember I was like, wait, a second one came out? And I'm like, wait, I saw it. Remember it was
probably some girl you weren't supposed to admit you were with. So you sure you want to admit it here on the radio?
Moving on. No, but I
oh, yeah, Rich, it was me that you saw it with.
You mean like the recent one within the last few years, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I went to maybe a screening. I wonder if I
was
went
that supposed
with
to
my
be your
wife.
alibi?
It wasn't with me, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
but
Rich, it was great. I remember.
But Independence Day.
Sarah, we all had fun.
I don't know who it was, but
We went for Chipotle after.
I didn't even know there was a second one. Who's
you-
in the second one?
Listen, you dingleberries.
All the same people.
It was the same people, but
Is it really?
Will Smith was
must have been a
not.
stinkeroo.
Will Smith.
Well, then it's not the
no,
same.
but he sat it out.
That's like Major League without Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, but Major League 2 was still pretty fun.
Nah, it wasn't.
Independence Day 2 had Jeff Goldblum. It had, who was the president again? I think he's since passed away, right? Who was the president spot on Independence Day?
Bill
Pullman.
Bill Pullman?
He's alive.
Yeah, he's not
still
dead.
alive.
Okay, my bad. He's
You're
kicking.
thinking of
You're
Bill
thinking
Paxton.
yeah.
Bill, okay.
Yep.
Bill, I mean,
You're thinking of Chet from Weird Science.
Yeah.
so, yeah, the second one came out, and I just remember saying, yeah, I watched it, but with who? All right, let's go to your phone calls. Where do you want to start? Kansas City?
Let's go.
Get some burn-ins on the grill. Dan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's
Hey,
up,
buddy.
man?
Hey, I actually worked at the movie theater at this time. Surprised nobody said Armageddon.
Armageddon is a great movie, and I know that we recently, had the anniversary, so it was a late June movie, so we'll call it a 4th of July. Armageddon was huge, man.
Again, this weekend,
on a jet plane.
Rest in peace.
Michael Clark Duncan.
This weekend is usually an excuse to go see a good movie, kick off the summer. So, yeah, if it came out in June, it's still – that would be F1 probably.
Yeah.
This weekend for a lot of people. It came out a few weeks ago, but people are going to use it as an excuse to go to the theater.
Yeah, you can't release all the summer movies on 4th of July weekend.
I know, exactly.
So it has to be spaced out a little bit.
Jason, you're on in Phoenix. What's up, buddy boy?
What's going on, guys? Hey, first and foremost, you guys kick ass when you stand in for DP.
Thanks, man.
Summer of '97, I want to say I'm working at a mall in Phoenix, and it's a sunglass store. Men in Black comes out, and instantly after the movie, people start coming into the store and buying sunglasses.
Can I guess? Was it the Sunglass Hut?
It was Pacific Eyes and Tees. It was before. It was even smaller before Sunglass Hut. I'm about your guys' age, so yeah, it was one of my first gigs after high school.
That's funny.
Men in Black. Will Smith ran away with summer blockbusters for like 3-4 years straight.
Yo, Covino.
Great call.
Covino, obviously not a big Will Smith fan. You've heard him say it, but
I like the Ray-Bans.
This was not a big movie. I mean, it was a big movie, but I don't remember loving it. Remember Hancock was a big movie for him? That sort of didn't work out they wanted.
The one about Herbie?
No,
No,
John.
I don't know if I saw that one. I'm not sure if I saw it.
Where he's a superhero? Well, he's a sloppy superhero.
Cameron in Indiana. What's up, man? Covino and Rich.
Hey, guys. So I love the show, but, first off, in honor of 4th of July, I'll tell you, I moved into a new house about 2 years ago, and yesterday was the first time I grilled in 2 years. But as far as movies go, give me Avatar series and Hunger Games. If I want to get my family around the TV, that's the go-to.
Avatar. Was that a summer release?
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That movie baffles me because I went to see it and I enjoyed it, and it was very like Romeo and Juliet, right?
Spotty, can you check on that? For some reason, I thought the first big Avatar movie was
December. Yeah,
December. Yeah.
Well, I saw it in theaters, but what I find crazy about it is it's such a huge brand, and people made such a big deal about it because it's the long-awaited movie, all these effects and high budgets and everything. You ever see the Avatar Land in Disney World? It's insane. But I don't know anybody that really loves that movie. I've never really met anyone who's like, dude, huge Avatar
But
guy.
it was
it's so massive.
Highest grossing, right?
I know, it's crazy.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't add up. I'm like, who loves this that much?
Rob in Florida, what's up, buddy?
Hey, first off, shout out to Bill Pullman, who graduated from the same school I did, SUNY Oneonta.
Look at that. Or as they called when I was younger, Stoniante. Everyone.
Yeah, it lived up to the reputation.
No doubt.
So let me ask you about Back to the Future. Do you think it would have been the classic it has become if the original leads were in the movie? And do you know who they are?
I think that often.
Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz. You know what? It's interesting.
Eric Stoltz from Mask and Some Kind of Wonderful. Yeah, it would never have been the same, and that's the reason they got rid of the dude. He wasn't delivering the comedy. I've seen the edits. He wasn't delivering the comedy chops that Michael J. Fox just perfected.
I mean, you could find all these things on YouTube, but they'll have the cuts of, when they're in the diner and Biff comes in and Michael J. Fox is there and he just looks like baffled that, oh my God, there's his dad and there's Biff. Eric Stoltz wasn't selling it to me. There was just something missing.
He was too serious of an actor, a great actor, nothing against him, but just wasn't the right role for him. And you needed Alex P. Keaton to step in there and do his thing.
Doc,
you're telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Not bad.
Marty, their chemistry was like next level. And they had most of that movie completed with Stoltz, and they pulled the last-minute audible.
Yeah,
and they did it, and it was the right move.
And Rob was saying that Elizabeth Shue was originally going to be the girlfriend, but she was taller than Michael J. Fox. So that's why they went with the actress they did. I'd never heard that part of it.
No, Elizabeth Shue, huh? Elizabeth Shue, so 80s hot. I was a big fan of Adventures in Babysitting with her.
I mean, she was great in Karate Kid.
Your thoughts? 877-99 on Fox. Now, I have a spinoff. And I want to change this up a little bit. Let me pull an audible at the line of scrimmage, right? A little Omaha. Back to the Future, 40 years old today.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's from the second one, so give me a little leverage here, a little leeway. One of the references we make the most when you talk about Back to the Future and the whole series is Biff Sports Almanac. So let me ask you.
Part of the series, all good.
You could throw out your favorite summer blockbuster. You can hit me up with your Terminator 2s and your Independence Days.
That's how Biff made his fortune.
So hit me up with your favorite summer blockbuster.
Hit
hit
a
us up.
casino on Fremont Street.
But besides your favorite summer big-time movie, in honor of Back to the Future, celebrating 40 years today. If you had Biff Sports Almanac, what sporting event would you want to go back to bet on? Is there one where you're like, oh, my God, no one saw?
I think there's a clear,
is there a clear
number one answer? Yeah, if you were able to pull a Biff, sneak into the DeLorean, grab the almanac, all that stuff, go back in time and make your fortune, you'd put it all on one particular event.
Well, there's one that stands out.
There's many, but there's one number one answer. Yeah.
And by the way, for the fun of it, I said Biff's. I know it's Gray's Sports Almanac.
Oh,
Gray's Sports Almanac.
Fun fact.
Put that in my back pocket like Marty McFly on my way to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. All right, hey, your thoughts? We'll get to it next. Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick. And just a reminder, Covino, I'm so pumped because not only are we filling in for Dan Patrick today and Monday and Tuesday, fast forward a week after that, we'll be in Atlanta.
Our show is going to be broadcasting live from the MLB All-Star Game. Atlanta's the ultimate baseball hotspot. You can be part of the excitement at Capital One All-Star Village. Saturday, July 12th through Tuesday, July 15th. Head to the Cobb Galleria for baseball fun, live entertainment, and interactive games, and we'll be broadcasting there.
We'll be filling in for Dan Patrick Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of All-Star Week live from Atlanta. And you can buy tickets for all the fun at allstargame.com.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable.
You're very tricky. America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
COVINO and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's COVINO and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I like point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable.
You're very tricky. America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
COVINO and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's COVINO and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes!
Hey, welcome back to the show. The world famous CNR on FSR. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, COVINO and Rich, and for Dan Patrick. Driving that trusty old ride, that rusty, trusty old ride. Keep it looking sharp with Mako. From dense to faded paint, we've got you covered. Get a free estimate today. Better get Mako. I'm COVINO. That is Rich. Your phone calls, 877-99 on Fox. Danny G, super producer, on standby. Perfet's hanging out. And we get you involved every Thursday on our show. We do it here on Dan Patrick. Old school and 50 hits. It's a blockbuster weekend. And we're not talking about the video store. We're talking about big movies come out this weekend. This weekend is Jurassic World, Rebirth, F1, people hitting the theaters. What comes to mind when you think of the classics? And then Rich pulled a secondary layer to the question, which is, being that 40 years ago today, Back to the Future came out, if you had Biff's Almanac, where would you put your money? What event?
It's a good question. What sporting event would you be like, I'm all in on this? Now, interestingly enough, not to point out we're getting old. As Spot said the other day, our video guy, we're closer now to 2050 than we are to the year 2000.
Officially.
And as Perfett played Bowling for Soup 1985, the year Back to the Future came out, that song was written in 04, about 85, and it was like, oh my God, how long ago? If that song was written today in 2025, they'd be singing about 06. And when we were kids, from 85 to 55 felt forever. That's the 30-year gap now would be like going back to 1995, which is ridiculous. All right, let's go to your phone calls. We'll start with Brendan in Reno. COVINO Rich in for DP. What's up, Brendan?
Hey, guys. Hey, I just found you guys like a couple months ago. I dig your show, man. I like to go in and out of sports and social stuff. I dig it.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
But anyway, so I got this real quick story. I was in Atlanta. I'm an old guy. I'm about 55. And I was in Atlanta for the Olympics in '96. And I went to Independence Day. I was staying at the Marriott. I went to Independence Day. And this is my favorite movie because I hated it so much. I left. And when I walked out, I went to the bar in the Marriott, and there was a guy in a Panama hat and a white suit, and it was Joe Frazier. And I was like, I hung out with Joe Frazier.
Wow.
And had a drink with him, and then they were showing Ali, right? Because no one knew who was going to light the torch. And he just said to me, he's like, I made him shake like that. And I was like, oh, my God.
That's crazy.
Cool story, though,
That's
man.
a good one, man.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing. And by the way, he said he's 55. That's not old, bro.
Yeah.
55 is the new 45, all right?
Yeah.
So, hey.
Stay young, man.
Yes,
Hey,
stay gold, pony boy.
Speaking of old guys, Big Mike, who runs this place?
Yeah.
Who?
Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike. He said that
Never heard of him.
the Independence Day.
Never heard of him.
The Independence Day domination of 1996, he said it was the first time he went to one of those midnight screenings. There was anticipation, and again, much like there's certain Christmas movies you need to watch every year, I do think Independence Day probably gets so many rando streams over the next 48 hours.
But again,
at the very least, you just got to listen to Bill Pullman's speech at the near the end of the movie.
Very cool.
Best speech. Best
but again, it's
presidential
when you
speech.
leave that movie theater all pumped up, high-fiving your buddy because you just had the ultimate roller coaster experience. So
we celebrate our independence.
Love that.
All right, let's say hi to, who's that? Luke in Georgia. Hey, Luke.
What up, Luke?
Hey, guys. I love the show.
Thank you, man.
So I don't know exactly what season it was, but when the movie came out. However, this reminds me of the summer because it was my first summer being old enough to hang out with my brother and without parents being around, and I got to watch The Lost Boys with Kiefer Sutherland and Corey Feldman as the Frog Brothers. So every time I watch that movie, it's just like, man, what a cool summer.
Can I guess, right after the theater, you went to get a large fry pie, large coffee?
Yo, let me say,
Appreciate you, brother.
It's a July movie. I'll give it to him.
Thank you so much for
There
the
you
call.
go,
We
Luke.
appreciate you, Luke. Thanks.
Let's say what's up to Shane in Iowa. Hey, Shane.
Hey, thanks guys for taking my call.
No problem.
This was a June release, but it just something I'll never forget was Jurassic Park. It was the first time I could ride my bike to the mall by myself. Me and two buddies went, and I came out of that movie theater thinking I was going to see dinosaurs walking around the city. It was awesome.
Yo, dude, it's the Jurassic ride at Universal's great. My kids, kids love dinosaurs. If you got little kids, dinosaurs are
By the
like
way,
such a chapter of their life, right?
In the trailer for the one that comes out this weekend, what is that dinosaur monster? What is that thing that they keep showing? Like, what does that have to do with dinosaur? Is that a dinosaur I've never learned about? What is that? Have you seen it?
I think we're just all getting ripped off because Dallas Bryce Howard's not in this one.
You mean what? She's not.
Not that I know of.
I gotta watch the trailer, but I will say that
dude, she and Cal Raleigh have a lot in common.
I think the problem is at this point with the
Big
Jurassic Park series, like back in Jurassic Park 3, they're like, all right, the T-Rex isn't the big enemy anymore, so we got to come up with something else. Here's a Spinosaurus or whatever.
Yeah, there's something weird.
And now they're
keep
like,
showing.
I think it was the first Jurassic World, they just made up a brand new dinosaur, and I think that's just what we're getting. It's like, yeah, these are genetically spliced killer
I missed
dinos.
that one because I'm like, what is that?
What the first one was? Spot 93? Jurassic. So we're talking about over 30 years ago, and it's crazy to think that this series is still going on. But we all do remember that first one was just something special. All right, let's go to Michigan. Say what's up to our buddy Cliff. Hey, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm a lot older than you guys, so this movie's 50th anniversary was this summer, and it was termed the first summer blockbuster, and that is Jaws.
Yo, dude, I was not alive yet. I was.
It's funny you say that because I'm actually reading a book right now called How to Swim with Bow-Legged Women. So, yeah, I'll let you know about it.
But I'll tell you what, it's one of the best movies of the last 50-plus years. Jaws changed the way we looked at sharks. From what I understand, before that, people really...
What?
What?
It's a tiger shark.
What?
Oh, what? Oh, what? Best scene ever.
But... yeah, two notes on the cello changed how we swim in the ocean. For real, man. That movie still hits.
Yeah, right. By the way, I always felt like the same way a Police Academy movie was never the same without Gutenberg. When Roy Scheider left, it was like, it can't be Jaws without Roy Scheider.
I saw Jaws 3 in 3D as a little kid.
It's the worst movie of all
time. And it was the
time.
weakest experience of my life.
Yeah, come on. The shark's coming out of the screen. Let's go to Florida. Johnny. What's up, John? Florida.
Guys doing? Well, the previous caller just stole my thunder. I'm older as well, too. I'm, 62 now. So I was a kid at that time. But when Jaws came out, man, I tell you, it freaked out the country. We were so afraid to go to the beach. And I'm from New England, too. So having it been right there, it was crazy. But everybody had to go see that film, though.
Dude, that was, I thought, we just said the third one stunk. The first one was great. I even liked the second one. I thought Jaws 2, where they're all the sailing. And
some people like that one better,
Remember when they killed Jaws by Roy Scheider holds up the power line? Remember the first one was, smile, you son of a... blows up the tank. The second one, he goes, open wide.
Oh, it's so
and
good.
The second one was good, too.
I'm actually jealous of that experience that you got to see it. And by the way, 62, the new 52. So welcome to the show. You're all good.
Yeah, you good.
Thanks for sharing.
Let's wrap it with Tommy in San Diego, which, by the way, was voted, get this, the friendliest city in the United States. And I can imagine because it's so damn nice there. How are you going to be in a bad mood? What's up, Tommy?
Doing great, man. Yeah, it's hard to have a tough time in paradise.
I know, exactly.
But,
What's up?
my movie that I remember the most, if you remove Back to the Future, obviously the best, but Fast Times at Ridgemont High, man. When I was like 7 or 8, you see one of the most iconic scenes that a child can see.
And by the way, the mall scene was filmed directly across the street from where we broadcast here in Sherman Oaks.
That's also a summer movie. That we'll give them that one. But hey, your feedback, if you missed getting through, hit us up.
And by the way, he was talking
COVINO
about
Rich.
Phoebe Cates. Swing.
Phoebe swing. You know what? During the commercial break, I think I'm going to watch that Phoebe Cates scene.
And by the
Why
way, Rich,
not?
you posed another question.
Yeah.
And I have the number one answer. Do you want it now?
Oh,
or
yeah.
next?
You know what? Give me what you think the number one answer is, and we'll take some more feedback. Being that it is the anniversary of Back to the Future, what would you go back and bet on?
Back to the Future.
If you had Gray's Sports Almanac.
Yep. Back to the Future 40th anniversary today, released July 3rd, 1985. Biff had the almanac. If you had this opportunity, you'd go back to February 11th, 1990. The number one answer on the board, 42-1. Tyson gets knocked out by James Buster Douglas. Tokyo. We all remember it. And that's where you win your big bucks. No whammies. Stop.
I was thinking if live betting was available during the Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl, imagine what the odds would have been. 28-3, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's another great answer. But I'll never forget it. It was a Buster Douglas was a wonderful man. It was his night. Diabolical moment for me, but unbelievable for boxing history.
I don't know. I'm going to throw one in there, and then we'll take your feedback. I don't know if live betting was available at the time because now we got DraftKings and all these great gambling services we could use. At the time, was live betting available when Tom Brady and the Patriots were down 28-3. Do you think some jabroni was like, yeah, I'll bet $100 that they come back? I bet you if there was live betting, which
I'll ask ChatGPT.
You know, it's a good idea because I just feel like they weren't there yet in the gambling
live
world.
betting available
when the Patriots beat the Falcons. Because if it was, I'd imagine that live betting spread was ridiculous. It might have been so substantially unrealistic, Danny, that they might have taken it off the board even. So,
according to ChatGPT, I call him Chad. Thank you, ChatGPT. Yes, live betting was definitely available during Brady's famous comeback with the Patriots against the Falcons. February 5th, 2017, Atlanta led 28-3 midway through the third. Sportsbook open live in play betting on the Patriots.
Why you got to irritate
Plus
Atlanta
1,000,
like that right
10
before?
10-1 as the Patriots rallied. Odds shifted even further. Plus 1,600.
Yeah, plus 1,600 is big, but not. The Tyson thing is still the number one
And
answer.
obviously, they won forced overtime. They won 34-28. So you could have placed a halftime live bet on the Patriots to win. Thank you, ChatGPT.
All right, we got more Covino and Rich. We'll talk a little NBA. We'll talk more NFL, baseball, a little of everything to wrap up a fun Thursday show. Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it. You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes!
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win. Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes. Who wants that?
Bigger,
Bolder.
better.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah. Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready? Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
All right, COVINO Rich, and for Dan Patrick, as we're a day away from everyone doing this old move. Ooh. Ooh. And then when the fireworks end, there's always some buffoon that says, was that the finale? It was better last year. Every year.
Yeah, they were better last year.
Yeah, they absolutely.
Keep your fingers intact. Don't blow anything up. Don't
Yeah.
shoot whistlers at little kids like I used to do when I was a kid.
And don't video the fireworks show from your phone.
Yeah, that's a waste.
You're never going to watch that ever.
However, I did see a really cool video of a guy that flew a drone up into the fireworks, and it did look dope. It did look dope. But yeah, get your Husker do's, your Husker don'ts, and have some fun tomorrow.
Enjoy yourself, and thanks for, or we hope you're enjoying our show, Covino and Rich, and not the kiss ass. My dad always says, hey, don't go kissing ass. But thanks to all the affiliates hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. And if you like our show, follow the podcast. Search Covino and Rich. And join us 2 to 4 on the West, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 on the East. And later today, our bonus show, Overpromised, debuts. Episode, I believe it's 99. Overpromised. You could watch on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page or stream it wherever you stream your podcast. Search Covino and Rich Overpromised. Right now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And we're going to be broadcasting again for Dan Patrick on Monday and Tuesday after the weekend, but also live from Atlanta during the MLB All-Star festivities.
I'm excited. My dude, Francisco Lindor, gets his first start as a Met at shortstop. Danny G, what Dodgers gear you rocking?
I'm definitely going to bring my Kershaw jersey.
I got the Mets alternate New York blue.
Oh, nice.
And I know Covino will be wearing his lame pinstripes. I mean, Yankee jersey.
I'm wearing my pinstripe chonies.
Oh, I'm bringing my blue bets as well.
Nice. But yeah, we'll be there. And the brightest baseball athletes will be there as well from HBCUs. And they're going to make history in Atlanta. Catch the HBCU Swingman Classic presented by T-Mobile, hosted by Ken Griffey Jr., and stay for the postgame fireworks at Truist Park on July 11th. For tickets, visit allstargame.com. There you go. All right, 3 quick calls. We were talking Blockbuster, summer movies, and we're talking about, since it is the anniversary of Back to the Future, 40 years ago today, what would you use Gray's Sports Almanac for? Let's go to Matt in Tampa. Hey, Matty boy.
Hello.
Matt, what's up, man?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? I love what you guys do when you're filling in for Dan Patrick. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So the movie I picked, which I can't believe no one said, is The Sandlot. Like, The Sandlot, America the Beautiful, fireworks going. It's in the summer. I just that's all I think of when I think of 4th of July.
Dude, Benny the Jet Rodriguez, man, legend for sure.
Unfortunately, that was an April release. It seems like a summer movie. If you would have, you know what, if I didn't look it up, I would have been like, yeah, Sandlot, summer movie,
Great
baseball.
movie,
but yeah,
that's why I guess.
Yeah. But thank you, Matt. Let's go to Donovan in Iowa. Donovan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Rich Covino, thanks for having me on. For my the Almanac, I was thinking the beginning of the season, the Cubs 2016 when they win the World Series, it was 108 years, and then Cavs when they were down 3-1 to come back.
Yeah, that against the best NBA regular season team in history. What do you got, Profet?
I know this is a bit out of left field, and I'm kind of going over to European sports, but I forget the year it was, but when Leicester City won the Premier League, those odds were something like the longest, like it was like it was like 10,000 to 1 odds if you pick them up at the start of the year, something like outrageous like that. And I would have loved to just make a killer fortune on one game there.
Yeah,
it's on the top of a lot of the lists.
It reminds me when remember when Ted Lasso took over? I do think that soccer one, the football one you mentioned, I've heard that as one of the greatest odds.
What year was it when the Cleveland Indians won with Wild Thing Rick Vaughn? That team, they were really.
Oh, that was 89.
Yeah, they weren't expected to do anything that year. So
let's wrap it up with Gary in South Carolina. Hey, Gary.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
What up, man?
2 summer movies I think you both can relate to: Gleaming the Cube and One Crazy Summer.
One Crazy Summer. Let me look.
I'm just gonna look up Gleaming the Cube when it came out, because of course I
Summer
remember it.
Never heard of them.
Is Demi Moore and
John Cusack.
And again,
John
these are
Cusack,
summertime movies. Gleaming the Cube came out in January '89, so it has a summer vibe, but didn't come out in the summer. But I'm not hating on it. Thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it.
One last one for Gray's Almanac. Tony couldn't hold, but he said, how about, I'm sorry, Covino, plug your ears, the 04 Red Sox.
You know, that's a good one, though. It really is.
Down 3-0?
Yeah, it's a really great answer. Make your fortunes while you can, like Biff, and open up a casino and change your family's fortunes. So there you have it. And, yeah, make sure you watch a great movie this weekend. You know what you could watch, too, if you don't feel like going to the theater? Squid Game 3. I don't know what game you plan on watching, but Squid Game is pretty dope.
I watched the first episode of season 3, and
Dude,
it was
the second one
it was
was
good.
like, what? The second episode of season 3 was even more like heart-wrenching. You're like, oh my God.
I'm going to watch this dude that I know, and he's famous now, on the History Channel.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Steve Covino?
Yeah.
I'm on that new Henry Winkler
He looks
show.
10 pounds heavier on the camera.
I know. I hate that. That's why I'm on a diet.
There's a show that I do want to
I'm
throw
on
out
that
there.
Debo Samuel diet.
Yeah, you and Debo Samuel, as T.O. said, 2 chicken nuggets away from tipping the scale.
Why you got to say that? By the way, we just posted a clip about that at Covino and
Yeah,
Rich.
if you missed that yesterday, we talked about how Terrell Owens straight up called Debo Samuel fat. And so a lot of fun. That clip, like you said, at Covino and Rich. If you need a show to watch, you're never going to listen to me, but maybe someone else will. No one's giving me money for this. Covino thinks I only endorse Apple shows.
You do.
But Stick with Owen Wilson is fantastic.
All right.
You don't like Owen Wilson? Wow.
I do.
Wow.
Hey, whatever you're enjoying, have a great weekend, and join us Monday and Tuesday after the holiday. We'll be here in for Dan Patrick.
All right. Until then, have a great 4th of July. Enjoy Joey Chestnut's big return to Nathan's. Have a good one. Arrivederci, baby.
We'll see you in the overpromised land.
Ooh.
All right. Later, guys. Happy 4th.